Hello everyone, welcome to another speedrun game against Jamin. Rated 1314. We get a Scandinavian on the board. Let's see how this 1300 handles it. Okay, never mind. He doesn't handle it. He gambits a pawn. We will take the material. Free stuff. When you can grab the E-pawn, you take it. Take it off the board. He develops a knight. Says I'm going to get my pawn back, whether you like it or not. That's true. But I'm going to develop and defend it. I'm not trying to hang on to this pawn. Some weird move like f5. I'm just going to develop. He's eventually going to take it, which I don't care about. I was letting him take it on move 1. So he gives a random check that we can block 3 adequate ways. Doesn't make any sense. And you know me, I like free moves, so I'm going for c6, which also stifles the knight, as well as the bishop. I just want to continue developing. I'm just trying to decide in what order. In what order? Which minor piece first? I guess I should focus on castling. So which pawn? If I want to move the e-pawn, I would have to move my bishop first so I don't block it. So let's move the bishop first so I can move the e-pawn. This also over-defends this. You could have moved your bishop here. But after knight here, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. So he brings his bishop out. What is the threat? Well, it just stares at the center, no particular threat. Now we can go e6, opening up our minor piece, getting ready to castle. Okay, he moves it yet again, which does solidify his pawn, but doesn't create a threat. We're more than happy to... I was going to develop my dark square bishop and castle, but since he specifically put his bishop here, I'm now going to choose to develop my queen's knight, target the bishop, over support my other knight, and potentially look here and here, which is a great idea. So you can see how I'm playing responsive chess, and although I wanted to move my bishop and castle, it's not urgent to castle immediately, so I'm noticing the nuance. Up, his bishop's here. Let me choose the knight first. He doesn't move the bishop. He's allowing me to take. Very awkward. I mean, I think I will, thank you. And when he takes back, which he has to, we can queen trade. He'll take back with the rook. Oh, why? What was that? What was that? And it might be natural to throw your knight here. How many of you would automatically throw your knight here? Don't lie, you know you would. Because it looks beautiful and you would like to put it there. However, notice this alignment? Do you notice any problems now? He takes the knight, we take it, he takes the pawn, and it's pinned. So we're going to move it back, targeting a pawn, whereas the central square doesn't target a pawn, aiming potentially for the bishop if we want to take it, blocking the file in case we want a long castle. So notice how the automatic move, which visually looks nice, is just not as good. I mean, this immediately attacks the pawn, and how does he defend it, right? So you have to look at concreteness, not just visual aesthetic beauty, right? So he goes here. Plus, the knight in this little hole would be aesthetically pleasing. So he's attacking the bishop. We don't care. We could move it back, but then he's going to take this pawn, which we don't care about. But then, like, why are we moving our bishop? Because we care about the bishop? I mean, not really. We could just take this pawn. We could develop a piece, and we could long castle. A lot of you would automatically drop the bishop back, which is a move, but you have to assume he's just going to take this pawn and then prepare to, I don't know, hop something in here. I don't like wasting my turns on junk like that. Let him take it and solidify my pawn, right? Who cares? It's good for us. So out of these three moves, we're already up a pawn. I would very much like to long castle. Just get my king safe. Just get my rook in the game, all in one turn. I have a nice little cubby hole for my king ready made. And he goes pawn hunting. He doesn't take the bishop, he takes the pawn. Fine. Fine, fine. No problems here. We're going to take our pawn, remaining a pawn up. So this is a queenless middle game where black has a 4-on-3. That's our win condition, is this potential passed e-pawn that we want to run up the board in an endgame. He takes, we take, and we're ready to stick it here when we need to. He moves the knight. What is the threat? Well, he attacks a pawn. Okay, the drawback. I mean, it's a reasonable move, but it is hanging. So, yeah, he just moved it. He just moved it here. Happens to be hanging. But I'm going to give him a take back. Take back sent. Let's see if he accepts or if he resigns, like the last guy. Okay, now I'm going to propose another take back. Is he going to take it? He does. Now I'm going to take his king and he can go again. If he puts his knight there again, I mean, surely he doesn't do that. Surely he doesn't hang a piece. There you go. You see why castling is just a much safer option, because you're not hanging a piece when you do it. So anyway, it's our turn. That was pretty funny. He's ready to give us a check, but we have a home ready. No big deal. We also need some room for our rook. At this point, we could save our bishop and not mess up our pawn structure and not give him the bishop. I kind of like that now that we already got our rook out of the corner. Fix that problem. If he gives us this check, we're more than happy. We want to go to c7. Not more than happy. We'd prefer to be on c7. He goes here, but this is defended. Also begs the question, what if I kick your knight? This is a weird move. So I'm going to kick it, of course, so that I don't let him double coordinate, which is probably what he's trying to do. Reshuffle, f4. But now he has to either go back, which psychologically he doesn't want to do, but he also doesn't want to block his and double his pawns like that. So he throws in a random check. We're happy to go here. Up our pawn with no concessions. Our pawn structure is 100% intact. We have the bishop pair, and our king is safe. So he does go here. But now with all those advantages I just mentioned, we can additionally ruin his structure. I think we will. Now we have a minor piece, undeveloped. Probably should get it in the game. Now, although it may be natural to go to d6 and go here, I'm not sure exactly what he's doing there, and also he's surely going to attack it next turn. Instead, it might be much better on the fianchetto diagonal if you just place it on f6. These bishops would laser down the queen side. I'm going to move it 1, support my rook coming to d8, and support the bishop on the long diagonal. And white has no advantage in the position, no counterplay. Basically, white would just has to rely on black really messing up badly. He moves the pawn. What's the threat? No threat. It just gets it out of the way. I don't really know. Either way, I'm going to get my last piece in the game. Oops. As long as endgame benefit me, who has all the permanent advantages. Pawn structure and bishop pair, which isn't permanent, but pawn structure is long term. So he retreats the bishop. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think he's just going to create this pawn chain and try to stay super solid, and we'll have to break it down. That's fair. I'm just going to put it here anyway. He'll probably just go here, and then I'll improve my king. My third and final piece. So let's bring it up the board and let him march on the dark squares. Only his knight can touch the dark squares. I'm assuming he's going to go here. And then we can just kind of stick our bishop in the center, which should be sufficiently annoying for him and cover lots of squares. This whole diagonal, I mean, this diagonal is kind of useless. So he does it. I mean, it has nowhere to go. It was just a one-move threat on our bishop. And we can still attack his pawns with our pawns or run our king up the board. I think I prefer to run my king up the board, get it super, super active. Then I'm guaranteed to just win. Because at any moment I can trade my minor pieces for his when I feel like it. And if my king is super active, like in his position here, then I'll just auto win that king endgame. So he moves the pawn. What's the threat? Probably wants to relocate his bishop here, would be my guess. Drawback, undefends these two squares. Once again, hanging the knight. This guy loves hanging his knight. So I'm going to take it, and then I'm going to give him a take back. This guy. He accepts. Oh, he declines. And I accidentally clicked it again because you have to do it 2 moves. So now he thinks I'm just pestering him with takebacks. I thought he would accept it. I didn't think he would decline. Okay, now he moves his bishop. So we're up a piece. Now it's just an easy conversion. Now if you trade bishops, I mean, so easy. But let's just get in a free move. He might, I was just gonna say he might resign because uh, it's too much when you have multiple takebacks like that. You get a bad feeling. You don't even want to be there anymore. You just want to leave. So anyway, we get a Scandinavian, or we try to. He doesn't take. Is this have a name? Oh, this is the Blackmar-Diemer Gambit. You know what? I should check this on my Chessable because I do have King's Gambit. Of course, I don't know the lines by heart, but wait, King's Gambit. What am I talking about? Scandinavian. Because I'm curious what the theory says. Wait, do I have a Scandi course? Yeah, I do. Okay. So flip the board here, here. Okay, so in the Blackmar-Diemer, we're supposed to take, which we did. And then this guy develops his knight. We're supposed to go, at least in this course, on Chessable, knight of 6, which we did, developing center and defense. What did this guy do? And then this guy gave a random check, which is not in the course because it's clearly just a bad move. So already on move 4 out of theory. Okay, so this guy wasn't playing an actual gambit. He was just doing random stuff and felt like gambiting, but he's not playing the actual gambit correctly. Okay, so we're out of book and we just play. So that's the Blackmar-Diemer Gambit against the Scandinavian. Just the first time we got that, I think. I'll try to remember it. Okay, so improving move for free. Development, center, over defense, and getting outside of the pawn chain. And already black is just, well, where we are up a pawn, so it makes sense, but, you know, minus 1.3 and higher from here on out, just much better. Center and development. Development and center for free, because that bishop is strong. All my pawns are on light over here, so it slices through nicely. So I'll gladly take it for my queen tonight. Okay. Trade of equal pieces. It says it's minus 3, completely winning. We're only up a pawn, but we just traded queens with an extra pawn and a better pawn structure because also there's no way for him to defend this. Okay, so is that the best move? Oh, you could also go knight g7, which also will take the pawn. But that's same eval. I'd rather go to the safer route. So, force move in for free. King safety, development, and center. Energetic play, not just retreating the bishop, which is lousy. He takes a pawn, and now free stuff, center. He takes, force move. He castles, and now bishop g6 suddenly is the best move because it's no longer the same situation. Before, if he would have taken and you took with the pawn, that would have cemented your extra pawn in the center. Now that's not the case. Now you're just doubling your pawns for no reason, and you already did the long castle energetic thing. Your king is already safe, even though it's technically in this on the central square. Because the rook's not here, and you have this already available, your king is fine. Like, and there's no queens, right? So your king is entirely safe in this position. The material is extremely limited, and now you have time for this move, basically. So we make the move. Because now it is a nice bishop, as there's nothing blocking the way. It dominates the knight, pressure. It's just, now all of a sudden it's just a good bishop. He makes a weird move, improving for free. Force move. And then free stuff because we get to ruin his pawn structure without giving him anything in return. Development. Least active piece, development center. Force move. Improving a piece for free. -4. Improving a piece. Force move. Free stuff. Forcing move. Improving for free. And he resigns. So good game for black. Pretty straightforward, pretty nearly perfect. And hopefully it showcases how to play against some random gambits when people don't know theory and they just give you free pawns. Good luck in your chess. I will see you in the next video.